At some point in our life, we've all been in that situation where you're putting in the work, whether it be a side hustle, a career, learn a new language, any kind of situation where you put in the work, but you don't see the results that either you want or the results good enough that warrant the work that you're putting in. Now, I've been in this situation multiple times over my life so far. I just want to talk today how I kind of get through it and keep pushing through even though, like I say, the results just aren't there. And now, in the time that I've left school, I've tried to start a few side hustles, and this is what I can relate it to the most, starting a side hustle where the workload seems high because you're trying to balance 10 other different things, again, family relationships, just life in general, and build something on the side. You know, it's hard. You feel like there's a lot of output and there's not really much input, no real reward to show, well done, you're doing all this work. So the few times I've tried this, the first time I tried, I was selling shoes online, going out on a Monday, picking them up, selling them. Now, in terms of the output and the reward for that kind of business, it wasn't too bad because the dopamine you get is kind of when something sells, you know. Whereas it's a bit different when you're trying to do something that's like the long game, a bit like YouTube, where you start a brand new account, you start something new, and you start it from scratch, nothing, you know, and you upload a video, you upload 10 videos, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be, and the views just aren't real there. You know, there's no reward, there's no pay. Because you're not really fussed in the views, you know, say if you got 100 views, but somehow you got paid, I don't know, 50p or a pound, you wouldn't feel as bad. But there's no monetary reward. Whereas when I sold shoes, at least when I sold only one pair for the week, that's £10 profit, £15 profit. There's a sign, there's at least some kind of reward. Whereas with something like this, again, it's hard to relate it to something else that's similar, but there will be other things that are similar where you put in the work and, you know, it might be someone who creates art, for example, or a photographer. You know, for a photographer to get paid, they've got to go out, take photos, upload them, share them around, network. That could take a year before someone books them to go and photograph a wedding or whatever, a nature reserve, whatever it may be, to be booked, to be paid to do it. You know, and it's hard because there is certain things in life where you've got to put in, if anything, 100 days, 200 days, 300 days of work before you see that kind of first paycheck. And just to add on, and just to add on to that, it isn't always just in terms like a business and a career sense. It could be when you're at school. You know, say someone in school, I don't know, I was never like this, but let's say year 8, year 9, they go, you know what, if I want to leave this school in 2 years with the best grades, I'm going to have to study extra. So they leave school, do an extra 1 hour, 2 hours of studying a night, whatever. And then the next time a test comes round, the result is still the same, B, C, whatever it may be. You know, I'm just thinking there because it's not BC anymore, it's like 1 to 9 or something. But you get my point, there is other ways it does relate. You know, it isn't always to do with money. And now in terms of how I've coped with that, I'm able to push through over the years. And the thing that's tough, right, I can't exactly sit here and say is 100% worth pushing through, working hard, because realistically, I don't have anything to show for it. You know, 2 years ago I had a YouTube channel, 80, 90k subs. At the time, you know, I thought I'll have something to show for this. Just working hard, getting up at 5 a.m, speaking to whoever, working a full-time job, family, children, all this other stuff going on, you know, relationships, all this kind of stuff going on. And then I had something on the side. And I was so proud in a way to know that I've not done it the hard way, but I've done it harder than most. You know, some people build a YouTube channel, build a photography business, whatever it may be on the side. Well, not even on the side, doing that full time. I'm having to do it when I've got free time. So at the time I was proud, but I can't sit here today and say it paid off because whatever happened and I no longer do it. You know, but in terms of how I kept going every single day, and it's hard when you don't see the results because at least when I was uploading FIFA content, you kind of knew, I knew in my head, and the same with anyone who does any kind of gaming content, when the new game comes out next year, there's a spike in views and they trickle, and then spike in views, new release, trickle. So you didn't feel too bad because you knew, oh, when FIFA 21 comes out, views will spike again. And then let's say you don't get what you want, oh, well, FIFA 22 comes out, oh, surely be the time I go full time. You know, all that kind of stuff. Now with this kind of business that I'm trying to start right now, this kind of YouTube channel, it's hard because one video might get 70 views, one video might get 20, might get 9, I don't know. You know, and there's multiple times over running the TikTok page that I'm running right now where I'm just sort of sharing my thoughts, my advice, wouldn't really call it advice, but just more my view on things, my point of view, my feelings, thoughts, whatever. You know, I've been doing that since April. I'm still only on, I think I just hit 160 followers. Do you not think over that time period between April and now, I've woke up the odd day and gone, I can't, what am I doing this for? And honestly, I have. Certain days I wake up, and maybe tomorrow might be one of them days. And it's never normally when I wake up, it's always when I go to bed. And I made a video on TikTok the other day about this, saying don't trust your thoughts after 9 p.m. because your body's tired, you're mentally tired, physically tired, whatever. And your thoughts are kind of swayed a little bit in the negative direction. So there's times where I've gone to bed and I've gone, you know what, I'm not doing this tomorrow anymore. My YouTube channel's got 20 subs, TikTok's got 160 followers, I'm doing it since April. What is the point? You know, I could be putting my time into other things, and maybe you do pivot because you do think, oh, you know what, instead of spending 2 hours doing this, I should be spending 2 hours getting a better job, getting a pay rise, blah, 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 blah. You know, but let's just say you've decided this is what you want to do and you're not going to, you know, change course. Because I was like that with FIFA, and I was like that with this right now. I'm just willing to just push every single day. And you've just got to kind of get into that mindset, and something that helped me recently actually as well. But you've just got to get into that mindset of, well, this is what I'm doing today, regardless of the results. And that's why people say you've got to fall in love with the process and that kind of thing, which is true, you know, but it is nice to see some kind of reward. But something I seen recently, and I think would have helped me a lot with the last YouTube channel I had, was that go in, say if you're running this right now like me, go in, record the video, lay it down, 100% real, then go out, live your life. Then come back tomorrow. Am I 1 million subscribers? No. Okay. Record the next video, go out, live my life. Just try and detach a little bit away from the numbers. And I'm not saying give up, because it almost feels like giving up. Well, if I'm not bothered about the numbers, I'm not bothered about improving, I'm giving up. No. I'm still bothered about the numbers, don't get me wrong, because when I come to record the video the next time, I might go, you know what, that idea didn't work yesterday, I'll try this idea, or I'll try this. But at least when you detach away and go and live your life, this is something that, again, would have helped me a lot, and then come back to it, you come back to it with a bit of a fresh mind, fresh energy, whereas with the last YouTube channel, I was just 100% looking every single day, every hour, are the views up, are the views down, what are the subs, how much have I earned this month, can I quit, can I go full time? And I'm constantly looking for a reward, I'm constantly looking for the feedback, I'm constantly looking for the dopamine hit of, can I do this full time yet? Whereas now, as much as I would love to start doing this full time tomorrow, and I would, if someone's offered me the chance to do this full time, quit my job, I 100% would. But the moment right now, I've just got to control myself, not get too wound up in the numbers, upload a video on here, upload 2 on TikTok. If one of them gets 1,000 views tomorrow, great. If it doesn't, I'll try again another day. And you just have to kind of have that blind faith and just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. You know, and again, this is where things like discipline and resilience sort of come into it. But it's hard. It's hard. I've been there, guys. Trust me, I've been there. And my piece of advice is just kind of walk blindfolded in a blind faith. Just keep walking, because one day something will happen. And will it be worth the 6 months, 7 months? Maybe not. But it'll be worth it because you know you're on the right path then. You know, say if tomorrow a video gets 100 views, my first 100 views on YouTube, will it be worth the time from April to August to get 100 views doing this type of content? Probably not. But it'll be worth it to me because I'll go, you know what, I'm finally getting somewhere. I'm finally getting some kind of reward of what I want to see.